Everyone, happy Tuesday. I hope that today, no matter what you face, that you have been able to just reflect on the goodness of God and who He is in your life. I want to go over briefly just a little bit from starting in chapter 32 of Job, but our reading was chapters 31 through 33. But I want to discuss Elihu and who he was. Now, he was the youngest of the gentlemen that are in this setting, and it was Job and his three friends, and now him. And he was the youngest, and you can definitely see where he showed his immaturity, specifically his arrogance. I think that's what sticks out the most to me, and how he speaks to Job, how he references certain things, how he puts himself kind of above in station in different ways. And it's crazy to think, he saw himself as someone who was smarter or wiser, having more understanding than the other older gentlemen had, which I'm sure made them upset too, thinking, who is this young guy coming at us like this, saying that he understands more and knows more when he doesn't have nearly half the life experience we have. But what I want to take out of this is not that younger people can't be smarter. It's that he was arrogant and he was prideful. And what can we learn from him? I think it's important for us to reflect, have there been times in our lives as Christians where we've acted out in a way that was arrogant or prideful? Because the reality is that arrogance is the opposite of what God wants us to do. Now, what's the opposite of arrogance and pride? That would be love. And definitely that's what we should be walking in. We should be walking in love. And so I wanted to read a few scriptures that hopefully will encourage you and remind you in what we should be and who we should be and who we are reflecting. Proverbs 8:13. The fear of the Lord is to hate evil. I hate arrogant pride and the evil way and perverse utterances. I mean, that's a pretty powerful statement when God himself is saying how much he hates that. In Romans 12:3, it says, for by the grace given to me, I say to everyone among you not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think with sober judgment, each according to the measure of faith that God has assigned. And also in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 through 5, it says, love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. All of these things here you see specifically even in chapter 13 when it talks of what love is not. You can kind of see Elihu doing. He was becoming this person who had pride and arrogance, and God has spoken to me, and I am right and you are wrong, and it's ridiculous that you guys have said all these things and not been able to say the right things. These things are coming from this place of arrogance. And maybe his intention was to truly try to be there for his friend and to help him. But in the end, he was being unloving and definitely not showing who God was. So hopefully we can take this and we can go, okay, I need to make sure that in all things that I come across as loving, that I don't need to come across as arrogant or prideful. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I understand something and God has given me insight, then he has done so, and I will do whatever I can to show that whatever God has revealed to me, I will do it in love. I think that's what's important, that we can't walk in this world full of arrogance and pride, because all we're going to do is push people away from God. So take that, be encouraged by that, be challenged by that, and go out into the world and show people what it really means to have love and to